Welcome to Latin with Andy, Code Breakers. These videos are to help you follow along with the Code Breakers at-home worksheets, so if you have not downloaded them, please click the link, purchase them, and subscribe so that you can further enhance your Latin experience. Today, we are going to do some X Games code breaking. Let's go. But hang on. We're gonna do some vocab review first. It's very important. Let's look at a couple of words. First word is Gladius gladiī. It's a very fun word, means sword. One easy way to think of this is to think of a gladiator with a huge sword in his hands, ready to attack. That'll help you remember that Gladius means sword. And then we have Rōmānus Rōmānī, which is another one of our fun ones that basically has the word that it means in the stem. Rōmānus Rōmānī means, you guessed it, Roman. Watch out, code breakers, we might see a first declension or second declension noun in this sentence. Let's get to code breaking. Our sentence is poeta gloriam Deo dedit. Let's go one word at a time. Poeta first. You see it there in your word bank? It's a first declension noun, but wait, it's not feminine, it's masculine because it names an occupation. So looking at that ending and finding it in our key, we see that it's going to be masculine, singular, nominative. Cool. Alright, next word is gloriam. So looking at it in our vocabulary, we see it's first declension, and this time feminine. And so looking at the am ending in our key, we see that it's going to be feminine, singular, accusative. Alright, now we come to Deo. Deo, however, is not first declension. You see it in your vocabulary? It has that I with the macron over it, which means that it's second declension, and then masculine as well. So this one, it has two options. It's going to be masculine singular dative or masculine singular ablative. So it's either going to be an indirect object or an object of the preposition. That's weird. Those are kind of weird options. How do we know which one it's going to be? Here's what I know. I know that Deo is not going to be ablative. And the reason is that at this point, we're not going to be using ablative unless there's a preposition. And I don't see any prepositions, so that means we can cross out the ablative option. That only leaves, though, the indirect object. Do you think that works? Well, first of all, we do know we have an accusative, gloriam, direct object, right? So the brother is there. Now we just have to check the verb and see if the verb works with an indirect object. So the verb is dedit. He, she, it, gave. Gave is one of the words that actually does work with indirect objects. It makes sense when you put it all together. So let's try translating it and see if it works. So let's start with our subject, go to the verb, and then the direct object, and then the indirect object. So the poet gave glory, and then we'll say to God. Remember we talked about how to God might be considered a prepositional phrase, but it's one way we can translate the dative. Another way we could say this is the poet gave God glory. Both of those ways would work as good translations for this sentence. Another great code-breaking run, guys. Remember, review your vocabulary cards. Practice declining second declension nouns. And remember that translating sentences is really just about breaking the code. See you next time. Wait, sorry, I don't know what I'm doing. Wait, sorry, I don't know what I'm doing.